You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Our Friday review, where we will be recapping the absolute best of the week from the private practice, what's going on in our global health-based community, what's happening with Equilibrium Nutrition, IHP, and I've got some great product reviews for you today. Super excited about some new research on a specific type of mushroom used medicinally. And I'll go over, another research and toxin-based study, which the apparently FDA and U.S. government says is okay because it seems to help prevent plaque and tartar, but could end up with massive consequences in terms of cancer or even hormonal disruption in children. So we'll be going over that. I really enjoy the Friday reviews because it's my time to do a show that's a little bit like anything goes. We go over all sorts of things during the week. Just yesterday, we went over the hidden toxic side effects of copper, why that is, why it happens, and why it's so prevalent in our society. On Wednesday, episode 1461, we went over the coronavirus versus the cold versus the flu and viruses, what to do about those, how to begin to take action to make sure that you and your family and loved ones stay safe. Talked on Tuesday about histamine intolerance. Again, a very important topic that's becoming far more pervasive in our world because of, multiple issues. One of them, gut-based imbalances. So I chatted about that. And then, of course, on Monday, episode 1459, we did our Motivation and Mindset Monday, which is really figuring out what season of life you are personally in right now, how to overcome those struggles if you're dealing with something right now. So hopefully you've been enjoying the shows this week, the podcast this week. To start things off, I want to talk about another great opening, another great debut this month with the Integrative Health Practitioner Program. Super excited about welcoming all the new members in. We do our monthly calls, which is always a good time, being able to connect with our community each and every month. So today at 1 p.m., I'll actually be chatting with our Integrative Health Practitioners Level 2. Those are people that have passed Level 1 and they're learning about functional medicine lab testing so they can use it with their own family, with their friends, with their community, and even as a health coach. And then next week, we'll be chatting again on Wednesday with the entire Integrative Health Practitioner community. So if you don't know about the Integrative Health Practitioner community, can't recommend checking it out. We are now closed, but you can sign up simply to be on the waiting list at integrativehealthpractitioner.org. Download the brand new brochure. Check it out. A lot of fun in that community. You can also see all the other practitioners that are certified from all around the world. Okay, over at equilibriumnutrition.com, do not miss your opportunity to get a free bottle of balanced zinc. Especially after yesterday's show, you can learn about the proper ratio from zinc to copper, and you'll see within that product itself, it meets the ratio, of course, right? And it's a great one to help with hormones, is to bolster testosterone, the feel-good anabolic-based hormones for both men and women, right? That ambition, that drive, that get up and go. And then also really important for the immunity. And I've just as a little aside, I've been getting a lot of texts from friends, from colleagues saying they're dealing with being run down. They're dealing with a lot of viruses. This has been a very difficult time of the year for many people all over the world. I have people emailing me from Australia, texting me from Puerto Rico, from Florida, from California. I've people from up in Alaska, and basically saying, listen, I've been dealing with this cough, this cold persistent. And so, of course, we went on a lot of those protocols. I did that last Wednesday. That was episode 1461. So hopefully, if you're dealing with cold, flu, viral-based issues, you are going to get to the bottom of that soon and rebuild that body. Make sure it's nice and strong. One more thing I want to share with you. Over at StephenCabral.com, it's a brand new site design. If you haven't checked it out, head on over to StephenCabral.com, and you'll see that we made it so much simpler to navigate. So you can check out the clinic, the certification, the podcast. In the future, I'll be doing a lot more webinars, a lot more courses, and this is just an easy way to check it out. But specifically for the podcast, what we did was we actually broke the podcast down into topics. Now you can see all the shows just on thyroid, all the shows just on sleep, all the shows just on stress. So we made it pretty easy in that way. And if you're someone that likes to go back and listen to maybe the Mindset and Motivation Mondays, you can actually just click on one of the bars on the side if you're on desktop, and of course below if you're on mobile, and it will take you just to the Mindset and Motivation Monday shows or just to the Friday reviews. So you can check that out. Super easy way that my team was able to pull this together and just make it easier for people to search and find the show topics that are the most relevant for you. All right, moving on now. I want to share with you my product review of the week. I'm going to share it on Instagram as well. So if you're not following over on Instagram, head on over to Stephen Cabral. It's just StephenCabral, Stephen Cabral. And you will see the SomaVedic product that I've been using now for the last 2 weeks. As you know, a big part of my research is now going into how can we use energy, how can we use frequency, how can we use vibration in order to begin to heal the body. Now, you might say, why are you starting to do more of this work? Well, I really feel like, of course, I will never be done studying Ayurveda, never be done studying orthomolecular medicine, functional medicine, etc. However, I've been studying this for many, many years, well over 20 years. And I want to add complements to this practice. And here's why. I don't think that we have a choice anymore. I've done shows on 5G now, and with the coming of 5G, we are going to be bombarded more and more with very specific frequencies. And what we need to do for ourselves, but also our cells, right? CELLS, is we need to be able to somehow block those frequencies and vibrations. So I've been looking a lot into products that are not only just purported to do so, but are also clinically proven. So this product, SomaVedic, I have the Medic one, SomaVedic Medic, which glows a beautiful green. So it looks tremendous, but also made out of jewels, I believe, jade. And what it does is this, because I'm learning more about this. I'm not an expert in this area, and I will never say that I'm the expert in this area. But my job isn't necessarily to be the expert. It's to talk with the experts, to read the research, to look at the certifications. And in this case, they're called bioresonance devices. They're actually being done far more in Europe. I viewed them when I was in Germany. So you can look up bioresonance. Now, here's what they're doing. This works within about a 100-foot radius. It's doing this. It's not blocking EMF. This is where it gets a little bit difficult. So you're not blocking electromagnetic frequencies from your modem, from all sorts of different devices. Here's what it does. It actually sends a different signal. So it sends its own electromagnetic frequencies that is in more resonance with the human body. So it more mimics the natural frequencies of the human body. Remember, all the cells are vibrating. Your entire body works on frequencies, waves and frequencies. So your body accepts this frequency. It takes this frequency in rather than, let's say, a 5G base wave or 5G base frequency. So that means the 5G frequencies are still around you. You're not blocking them because your Wi-Fi modems and all that will still work. However, what's happening is your body is absorbing, instead of the 5G wave, it's absorbing the frequency from a device like the SomaVedic. So they have all sorts of different variations. They're actually getting more certifications and more studies on its ability to potentially kill fungus and bacteria and other viruses in the environment as well. The last part I'll add is that, and I'm actually going to link up the research because I know that with a new device like this, it's good to be a skeptic, and I'm probably one of the biggest healthy skeptics there are out there. So I'm going to actually link up one of the certifications that they got. And what it looked at was actually the SomaVedic and its frequencies ability over the course of about 28 days to help better regulate circulation, and the heart's rhythm. And it's been shown and researched to improve heart rate variability. And I'm big on heart rate variability. I'm working to improve my own as well. And what it's doing is it's enabling your body to become more resistant to stress and free radical. So I love the fact that it does that. The last thing I want to add is this, because I could go on, is that there is something to its ability to restructure water. Now, what does that mean? Well, water is flowing naturally from a spring. When you taste spring water, it's a little softer. It has a different feel in the mouth to it. You'll notice that if you drink let's say an Icelandic-based water or maybe a Fiji-based water. Yes, there's silica, there's other minerals in there that make it a little softer. But what they've found, and again, they've used the SomaVedic and they've actually put water out and they do the crystal experiment. Maybe you've heard about the crystal experiment before, where depending on what frequencies are moving into that water, as the water freezes, the crystals form. The crystals look different under water that is more structured and natural versus that which is more unnatural. So I'll let you do the research yourself. I definitely recommend checking it out. And again, I have the SomaVedic Medic Green Ultra. Right now it is in my office, but I'm going to buy one actually because I do very much enjoy it. I'm going to buy one for my apartment where my family lives. And the reason is that there are about 8 units per floor. That's above us, below us, on our floor. And with so many modems and Wi-Fi going on, I just want to make sure that obviously little humans are more susceptible than big humans. And I just want to make sure, that they're in the best space possible as well, especially living in the city where we can't control all the different devices that our neighbors and people are using as well. So the last part I'll say is that there's 5 certificates that are scientific, meaning like there's 5 proven scientific certificates from 3 labs showing the efficacy of the devices. Comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee. It's something that I'm happy that I've added to my office and very soon my own home. So you can check that out. Simply go to stevencabral.com/1463, and I will link that up today. Again, sometimes these companies offer our community discounts or offers. We will reach out to them, and if there is an ability to get one, I will link it up at stevencabral.com/1463. All right. Next up, before I get to just 2 research studies, I wanted to share this with you. It's still research, but it's on a nutritional supplement, which is obviously extracted from a whole food. This one specifically is on Reishi. Now, a lot of people, I've talked about Reishi before. The reason I want to go over this today is because there are 6 research studies or 6 pieces of research that you're welcome to delve into more on your own, but I wanted to make sure that I brought you as well. So the first one is this. Well, let's talk about this. If you're not familiar with Reishi mushroom, it's a very interesting looking mushroom. It basically fans out and it's this reddish to black color. So it's very easy to say, oh, that's a Reishi mushroom growing there. And it's been used in Japan and China for thousands of years. Reishi mushrooms is actually called the mushroom of immortality. So it's been quite well known for a long time. Now, one of the reasons why they call it the mushroom of immortality is that it can be used every day if you want to. It actually helps to boost overall strength, vigor, vitality. But what we're finding in the research is that it actually helps to better regulate inflammation and the immune system. Pretty interesting. So a couple of the 6 that I want to bring you today is this, that many people are dealing with fatty liver right now. And what they found is that people that have taken Reishi for 6 months, again, this is not an overnight success, they found that the oxidation of the cells in the liver fell by 42% with no other changes besides Reishi mushroom being added. That's pretty impressive. So with fatty liver, Again, you can look all of this up. You can simply go to a little website called Google, and you can type in reversing fatty liver disease with reishi mushroom, and you'll be able to find those specific research studies. The second one is this. Many people in our practice dealing with fibromyalgia, which is inflammation in the different tissues of the body. Sometimes it's located to one spot. Sometimes it moves around the body. Well, first study was in the Pharmaceutical Biology. That's the name of the journal. This next one is in Nutrición Hospitalaria. Well, that's pretty bad, my pronunciation there in Spanish, but I did my best. I have 0 years of Spanish training. So what it did, though, it was found that it would help with pain, with stiffness, and with overall flexibility and fitness by taking reishi mushroom and doing a little bit of strength and endurance training for 6 weeks. So impressive there because it allowed for better exercise tolerance. The next one is, and I've talked about reishi mushrooms specifically for human papillomavirus, HPV. Again, dealing with a lot of people in our practice with HPV. And this has been shown now for quite some time. And typical dosage that I'm recommending is typically about 2 to 3 grams per day. And they found, this was published in the International Journal of Medicinal Mushrooms, 88% of people who took reishi for 2 months had complete clearance of the HPV virus. Not partial clearance, not a little bit of improvement, 2 months, complete clearance of HPV, which we know can cause throat cancer. So when people like your doctors say, oh, there's no research, there's no such thing, nutritional supplements work, please do not listen. Honestly, it doesn't mean your doctor is a bad person. It means they're uneducated in the area of nutrition and nutritional supplements. That's not their fault. They took 0 courses in nutrition and nutritional supplements. You don't go to your MD for nutrition-based advice unless they specialize in that, which is postdoctoral work. You go to your MD to run your blood work, to do your annual visit, to make sure that you are disease-free, okay? You go to your integrative health practitioner, your functional medicine doctor, your naturopathic doctor, whatever doctor you'd like to work with that specializes in nutrition, nutritional supplements, exercise, right? Stress reduction, all of those things. So again, I just urge you because the information is out there, but you may not be hearing it unless, again, you're tuning into a podcast like this that's unbiased. Listen, if someone needs to take antibiotics, they need to take antibiotics. I'm not going to say there's not a time and place, but what I'm going to say is if you heard like last Wednesday's show, viruses, there's no need to take antibiotics. If anything, they make you worse in the future. So what we want to do is say there's a time and a place. Okay. The next one is this. And this was published in the Journal of Arthritis and Rheumatism. People who took reishi had less inflammation and pain compared to those just taking the placebo for rheumatoid arthritis. Another one, in the British Journal of Nutrition. People with diabetes who took reishi had an increase in good HDL cholesterol. The last one is this. Reishi is one of the more popular treatments for those people that deal with motion sickness or specifically altitude sickness. And you should start taking that product about 2 weeks before you get on that, well, I guess airline or airplane, whatever it may be. So again, what we do is, in my practice at least, you want to look for a product that's going to be clean, that's going to contain ideally a minimum of 10% beta-glucans or polysaccharides. If you can find one with 4% of a more active ingredient, I believe it's pronounced triterpene. I'm not positive on that, but it's triterpene, I believe, off the top of my head. And again, I typically recommend a dosage of 2 to 3 grams per day, which is 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams per day. And I like them in divided doses, 1 at breakfast, 1 at dinner, if you're doing 1,000 each, or 1 at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, if they're 1,000 milligrams each. What I will do is simply link up one of my favorite brands right now. Equilibrium does not carry one. We're actually working on a medicinal mushroom blend, but it won't be out for probably about, I would say end of 2020. The reason is that I never like to make a Me Too product. If I'm making a new product, which is what we do at Equilibrium Nutrition. It's going to be based on the research, and it's going to be, there's no other product out there really like it. And here's the reasons why I want to be doing it. So I want to be doing an everyday immunity mushroom-based blend, but I don't want to just use 12 different mushrooms. I want to use a handful of very specific ones. Of course, Reishi will be a part of that allow for people with allergy issues, inflammation, etc., to be taking it on a daily basis. All right, that's it on Reishi. Really went in depth there, but again, if I had to pick one mushroom to use, that is the mushroom that's beneficial. And you really can't eat enough Reishi mushroom in your diet, nor would you. It's not the best tasting one, but of course you can cook with it. But really, that's one to take in supplement form. Okay, I'm going to bring you two quick studies. One is people who are dealing with prostate cancer treatment, and they're using a specific drug called androgen deprivation therapy, ADT, which basically reduces testosterone or male hormones. They found that men on ADT with early localized prostate cancer had an 81% higher risk for heart failure and a slightly increased risk for heart rhythm disorders compared with those not on ADT. So you just want to make sure that if you're on ADT treatment, that you're having this monitored really every few months with your doctor. This was research and evaluation at Kaiser Permanente, Southern California, Pasadena, and it was done by Rena Hake, Haque, who's a PhD and Master of Public Health. So you can check that out. Just more of a public warning for people and men on ADT. Really important because it can actually affect heart failure, which, of course, we want to make sure we're taking care of. The last one is this. It's on Triclosan. You've probably seen it in the rain barrel effect. You've heard me talk about it before. Commonly used in soaps, and it's used in toothpaste. It's essentially an antibacterial compound. And you know how I feel about antibacterials and antibacterial soaps when you don't need them. Scary situation. Yeah, it can cause issues with bacteria in the mouth, causing more of an anaerobe-based environment, could cause issues in the gut if swallowed, and now it's being shown to potentially disrupt hormones. This is besides the potential cancer risk with using it, potential issues with hormones in children and drug-resistant infections because of its antibacterial use. Again, you don't use antibiotics unless it's a life-saving based condition. So there are many toothpaste still out there. Actually, I'm not going to name the brand name, but there are many out there that contain Triclosan. It's Triclosan. Now, the FDA says it's effective at reducing plaque and gingivitis, but a review of 30 different studies found that toothpaste with Triclosan plus fluoride, although outperforming the others in terms of reducing plaque and gingivitis, said that, or the FDA at least said that, there's a risk-benefit ratio that still allows them to put this potentially deadly form of a toxin in the toothpaste, which is why you really have to be your own health advocate. There is no need, if you're following it and you're eating a clean diet and you are using your daily activated multi, your daily nutritional support, you're getting the vitamins that you need, you're taking a probiotic, you're doing your omega-3s, you're going to be a healthy human and your mouth should be healthy as well. And then you're going to brush with a toothpaste that contains maybe coconut oil, maybe baking soda, maybe tea tree oil, maybe some cinnamon, maybe some xylitol if you really wanted that in there. These things all keep your mouth healthy as well without having to use fluoride and Triclosan as well. You can go back for my previous podcast on the dangers of fluoride, but again, I just wanted to give you one more angle to look at. It is always your choice for what you do for you and your family, and I want you to make the best decision for you. And you might not 100% agree with everything I have to say. That's okay. I just want to present things to you, and then you make the best decision for you. So hopefully today's show is helpful. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. I appreciate you as always. If this was helpful, please do feel free to share it with anyone you believe it could serve. Before you go, I wanted to share a personal story with you. The real reason I began to get well finally is because I figured out what was wrong with me. And that might seem pretty obvious, but I went from doctor to doctor for over 2 years before discovering at-home functional medicine lab testing. These are the labs that enabled me to finally figure out what was wrong with my hormones, blood sugar, electrolytes, and gut health. And once I knew what was wrong, I could then follow a proven plan in order to rebalance my body from the inside out. This is why I believe so strongly in functional medicine lab testing and why I've made it my mission to share these labs with the world. Now at Equa.life, You can order an at-home lab test or lab bundle for you and your family and be able to complete it within the week. Plus, the equal life difference is that you're not left to try to read and figure out these labs on your own. We explain what your lab numbers mean, what they mean in the much bigger picture, and then how to go about rebalancing your body in order to heal. To see our full selection of lab tests or to set up a free lab selection call to find out what labs may be best for you, simply head on over to equa.life/labs. And do remember, we ship these all over the world. To find out more and to set up your free lab selection call, simply head on over to equa.life/labs. That's EQUI.LIFE/labs.